Pony Spencer Spin here, and as you guys can see, we are doing a tier list video, and not just any tier list video, we're doing a Sonic tier list video. Now, truth be told, it's been a while since I've done a tier list video. The previous two, of course, are MLP tier list videos, which you can check them out in the description below, but this time I wanted to switch it up and, do Sonic ones. So for this tier list video, I'm going to use specifically Sonic characters that are present in both the games and the comics, more particularly the IDW comics. And of course, I will throw some Archie comics in as well, which means that all other media such as, well, the Sonic movie, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and of course, Sonic X, Sonic Underground, and Sonic Boom will unfortunately not be making to the tier list video, including Sonic Prime and of course the recent Sonic and DC crossover, including the DC heroes, since they're DC characters. But if you would like me to make a tier list video with Marvel and DC characters, make sure to give this video like I would say, let's make it 1,000 likes if this video ever gets, well loved. So, yeah. But yeah, so all other characters such as Sonic X DC, the Sonic and DC crossover, Sonic Movie, Sonic Boom, Sonic X, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog will not be part of the tier list video. However, I will include all the Sonic characters from either the games, the IDW comics, and mostly the Archie comics to be featured. So that is going to be somewhat of a plus. And also another feature is that I'm not going to include a double set of Sonic characters such as like the Writer's Sonic, or Sir Lance, or let's say Sir Sonic, or even the Archie Sonic or Archie Tails. I will not be including them, so we're just going to be going off by the main Sonic crew and all that. So yeah, without further ado, however, I will also include the classic versions of course, so yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off with pretty much random. So I'm gonna pick let's see, okay, Storm the Albatross. Okay, let's see, I actually kind of like Storm. It's just that I don't get familiar with this character that much. I know he's part of the Sonic Riders, and then Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, so I'm just gonna put him in a B rank just for that, because I'm not familiar with him. So he's okay. I mean, it's just that, I don't know, not familiar with him, so I'm just gonna put him at B. Okay, next up is Sonic himself. Now I know Sonic is the the main character, he's the hero and all that, but because there are other characters that obviously beat him as my favorite characters, I'm going to go ahead and put him at A rank. I know this is going to hurt a lot of people who are obviously big fans of Sonic, but he cannot beat two characters that are obviously, one of my favorite characters. Well, one of my top three. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start. Alright, so yeah, let's continue. Now, I'm also obviously going to include the super forms of those characters, both classic and modern, so let's go ahead and choose, let's choose Super Sonic. Now, Super Sonic is, of course, a super version of Sonic. Of course, all of them are pretty good, like, Super Sonic, Classic Super Sonic. Then, of course, there's Super Shadow, Super Silver, Burning Blaze. They're pretty good characters. So for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and rank them all in A, because I got no other... I'm pretty much speechless with every single super character, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place any super characters basically at an A rank, because of course they're my favorites, including Burning Blaze. Oh wait, did I just lose her? I guess I failed to... I'm pretty sure the editor's like, you had one job, Spedster, and you just ruined it. Oh wait, I found it. Alright, there we go. That's all the supers. So let's go ahead and continue on. Alright, let's go with Archie. Let's do some Archie. Like I said, I'm not going to be, featuring the Archie versions of Sonic and crew, like Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Shadow, Rouge, Cream, Blaze, Silver, the Chaotix, including Mighty and Ray, since, they're not the modern ones. So we're just going to continue with the Archie characters that aren't Sonic. Including Sonic and that includes Sonic, since, he's just another version of Sonic, so, yeah. However, I am gonna add, like, for example, Scourge, Miles, I think it was like an anti-version of Tails, and an anti-Knuckles, I think. So, yeah, we're gonna go with those instead. So, who do I pick? I'm gonna go ahead and choose Sally Acorn. So, I actually like Sally's role. It is sad that, the rest of the Archie comics was discontinued from what I heard. It is pretty cool. Like I said, she is a pretty cool character. Pretty sad that, that the rest of the Freedom Fighters never get that much recognition, but I'm pretty happy that, they still there are some fans who are pretty much, big fans of the Freedom Fighters, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put Sally at an A. Alright, next up is Vector the Crocodile, one of the leader of the Chaotix. I enjoy Vector's funny banters, his quotes, everything about him is just so funny. And now, while I was in the winter storm, luckily, everything is alright, by the way, if you guys are wondering. Minus the water. I was, of course, heard a little announcement about, of the Chaotix case files, and of course, I was able to watch the 2 episodes. They were amazing. Like I said, Vector's a pretty cool. He's one of my favorite one of my top 3 favorite characters, both modern and IDW. So I'm gonna go place him at S rank because, of course, he's one of my favorites. Alright, let's continue. Next up is Dr. Eggman. Okay, Dr. Eggman. Ooh. Now, Dr. Robotnik is, of course, the main villain of Sonic. He's like basically the how do I pick? Which example should I pick? Let's go with this. He's kind of like Sombra to Twilight, if you would put it that way. But either way, I enjoy, of course, Dr. Eggman. I also enjoyed the fact that he almost rage quitted when he in Sonic Lost World, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, let's go ahead and place him at A rank as well. He's not one of my favorite characters. He's like not one of my favorite characters, but he's a good villain for me to like. Alright, let's see. Who do I pick next? I'm gonna go ahead and choose Shadow. Shadow is, of course, the ultimate life form. He knows he's not messing around. I enjoy his story arc in Shadow Generations. It was pretty cool. We get to see, like, what was Shadow doing during Sonic Generations, and we find out he was dealing with Black Doom. So, I enjoy his character arc. We finally get to see him finally no longer being, all angry all the time. So, yeah, he's still an edgelord, of course. So, for that, I'm gonna put him in A rank. He's not one of my favorite characters, but I liked his character arc. Everything about him, just, chef's kiss. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on. Okay, we're gonna go back into Archie. Let's see. Oh boy, that's a lot. A lot of characters. Let's see. Boy, that's tough pickings right here. That's a lot of Archie characters. You know what? I'm gonna go with my obvious right here. My favorite Archie character, Mina Mongoose. You probably see her in one of my in one of my Music Monday videos. Of course, Music Monday videos, of course. Which, if you haven't seen any of my episodes on Music Monday, go ahead and check them out. Mina's obviously, you know, covering every single Sonic song. So yeah, of course, like I said in a previous video, well, not a previous video, previous update video, Mina is one of my favorite Archie Sonic characters, and she obviously beats Sally to me in every other way. She basically, represents one of the average, what's the term? Average geeks, I would say. I think that's one way to put it, except that she's a musician, so I'm gonna go ahead and place her at A rank. She's my favorite Archie Sonic character, but she is not one of my favorite characters yet. Not yet, though, but she is one of my favorite Archie Sonic characters. Alright, let's go ahead and go with Chip, aka Light Gaia. Oh my gosh, Chip. What a fun little guy. I always enjoy him. And him becoming the very hero of helping Sonic to stop Dark Gaia and Sonic Unleashed. Just amazing. I love their buddy duo. Like their friendship blossoming over in Sonic Unleashed. And get to see him more after Sonic Unleashed. Like in some, like having him as a little buddy in Sonic Rumble, I believe, which I don't have, by the way. And if you guys are wondering, yes, I do play Sonic Rumble, but it's not on the PC. It's in my mobile phone, and of course, I do not know how to edit or record videos on my mobile phone. Only on PC I'm good at. So I'm gonna go ahead and place Chip, aka Light Gaia, at A rank as well. And if you guys are wondering, but you haven't played. Have you ever played Sonic Unleashed? I only heard of it, I never played it. I'm one of those who have missed out on Sonic Unleashed. I just hope that if Sega ever had the idea to bring Sonic Unleashed into the PC for a remaster now that it's the 35th anniversary, I would be happy and I would most definitely play Sonic Unleashed. Sega, if you ever thought of, making a remaster of Sonic Unleashed, there's your opportunity. Just saying. Alright, let's go ahead and move with Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic is, of course, Sonic in his younger years. Pretty lovable guy. I love his classic look. Without him, we wouldn't have gotten the modern Sonic that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and place him in front of modern Sonic. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way with the wisps, but we're gonna go ahead and start with the one wisp, our favorite little wisp, Yacker. Now Yacker is, of course, a really, I would say he's a good wisp. I mean, he's the reason that he helped most of Sonic and Tails during Sonic Colors. I never played Sonic Colors, but I am planning on playing the game later, so later on the road. So yeah, pretty good character. I'm gonna go ahead and place him up here. Now, let's go ahead and move on. Alright, Infinite the Jackal, the main villain of Sonic Forces, the very first Sonic game that I played. Honestly, I think Infinite's character was pretty good. It's a shame that, that Sega just never used him a lot, and now he's just basically thrown away like garbage. I still see a lot of, potential in this character. If they ever thinking of him, bringing him back at least some sort of form, like, let's say, as a non-voice character DLC for any game, that I would love to play him as well, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and place Infinite at A. Alright, let's continue. Next up is Tails. I'm gonna go ahead and sadly place Tails at B. I know Tails did a lot of heroic things like saving Sonic from the Zeddy, or saving all of Station Square from Dr. Robotnik. But I will not forgive the time when Tails did not rescue Sonic in Sonic Forces. I will not let that go. That is completely a huge crime to Tails' character. I know that he's somewhat redeemed in Sonic Frontiers and he mentioned about it, but still, no. I will not let that go. Sorry. I'm sorry guys for, any Tails fans that may seem a little harsh on me to rank Tails at a B, but I'm still keeping the score. Alright, next up is Tangle the Lemur. Now, Tangle the Lemur is of course my favorite Sonic character. I'm obviously going to put her at S rank for sure. I can't wait to play her in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which is going to when she's going to be released next month. I can't wait to play her. I don't know if she's going to be released before or after HarmonyCon. So, I guess it's just, only time will tell if she's going to be released before or after. So, yeah. All I had to do is wait, so. Alright, let's move on. Tangle is one of my favorite Sonic characters. Alright. Of course, we got Jet the Hawk, the leader of the Babylon Rogues. Let's go ahead and place him right in front of Sally, but behind Mina. He's a pretty good character. I'm surprised that they shown a lot of love for having him be featured even more, like in Tails Tube. And of course, we get to see him, of course, just telling Sonic that he pays a lot more attention to Shadow. But we found out in Sonic X Shadow Generation's Twitter takeover that Sonic ranks Jet at the top of his rivalry list along with Metal Sonic and Knuckles, and ranks Shadow right between Zabak and Dodonpa, which I have a feeling that this may have pissed Shadow off. So, and if you guys see some rival attacking interactions in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds with Sonic and Shadow and their rivalry, you'll see that when Sonic attacked Shadow with whatever gadget that he used, he basically said, "Did that jog your memory, Shadow?" And then Shadow will be like, "I'll strike back, Sonic." That, I feel like this is, Shadow's way of, he's going to get back at Sonic for ranking him so below between Zavok and Dodonpa. That's like me. That's like him literally saying, "Oh, just you wait, Sonic. I'm gonna get you back for ranking me right between Zavok and Dodonpa." I will not forget that. But anyway, let's continue. Alright, next up is Silver. Now, Silver, I am afraid that because he was not used so much, I'm gonna go ahead and put him, let's see, right between Modern Sonic and Chip. He deserves a lot of recognition. I mean, the dude needs to have his own game. I agree some Silver fans that he deserves to have his own game. It's so unfair for him to not be featured in his own solo game. Sure, there was Sonic 06, but come on, Sega, if there's a chance, come on, bring out that Silver game. I'm pretty sure that's gonna give a lot of fans, that's gonna make a lot of fans happy. Alright, moving on. So, we got Styx the Badger. I'm gonna go ahead and place her at B, because, I know Styx was part of Sonic Boom, but then she was made canon in the modern games when, in that last cutscene where Amy's saying if she ever wondered that Cream and Styx would be available for a road trip. Making Styx basically canon into the modern games. Still, I don't, know much of Styx's character in the modern games. I'm gonna count I'm gonna count out her Boom counterpart, out, because again, I'm only featuring modern characters, not Sonic Boom characters, so yeah. For that, Styx is gonna be at B. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring out Blaze the Cat. Blaze the Cat is, of course, one of my favorite Sonic characters, and of course, I'm gonna put her at S rank. She's my favorite. She's such a badass. She's a pretty good leader, along with Knuckles, who of course lead the Resistance. She knows what to do. She's basically like Sonic, who has a clear brain and knows what to do. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move on. Alright, speaking of Knuckles, here's Knuckles. I'm gonna go ahead and place him at, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and place him right behind Shadow. He's, of course, you know, the Guardian of the Master Emerald, and of course the Commander of the Resistance. Well, was the Commander of the Resistance. Because, you know, without him, there wouldn't be the Resistance, and they wouldn't be able to stop Infinite and Dr. Eggman. So, yeah, I guess they should at least give him some recognition. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and go back into Archie. So, let's choose Bunny Rabot. So, Bunny is, of course, the muscle in Sonic, Archie Sonic, so I'm gonna go ahead and place her at A. Now, I know that Bunny is married to Antoine and all that, but I don't know. Something about Bunny just makes me feel like, you know, I'm not fully connected with her because when it comes to like reading Archie comics, I know that she was featured in Sonic SatAM, but still, like, you know, I feel like that I don't fully, you know, understand her character mostly. Mostly because I'm obviously focused on Sonic, you know, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and then Sally, and then the other Freedom Fighters maybe, but when it comes to Bunny, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Maybe I'll just give the Archie comics another read, we'll see. Alright, next up is Tangle's girlfriend, Whisper the Wolf. Shame that, you know, Sega doesn't allow relationships. So, but I do enjoy the friendship though, but of course, you know what? Just for that, I'm just gonna put Whisper at S rank. Again, one of my favorite IDW characters and modern characters now that they made it to the modern games. I guess it's only a matter of time before Tangle and Whisper would eventually make their way into the modern games and be part of the modern crew. I mean, like, Sega has now full renders of those two characters. So it'd only be a matter of time for those two to eventually be part of the modern crew. So yeah, I would love to see that, and I can't wait to see. And I'm hoping possibly wonder who will they be voicing Tangle and Whisper. Like I said, only time will tell. Alright, let's choose Amy to round out the Sonic quadruple, if I would put it that way. I'm gonna go ahead and place her right in front of Knuckles. She has matured from the... I don't know, I'll be honest. I did not like the fact that, I don't know, something about her being, you know, obsessive of Sonic, trying to date her in the adventure area. I get it, she was just young back then, but it just somewhat annoys me a lot, and it's just like somewhat repetitive. I'm just glad now it's changed in Sonic Frontiers, where she's now more matured, you know, she's more independent, and, you know, she's learning how to, you know, think a little more like Sonic and not thinking like a complete fangirl. Maybe that's just me, but like I said, it's my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, and I respect that. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to other Sonic characters. Man, I'm gonna be taking a long time making this video, huh? Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and speed run all of it. So, Okay, let's choose Rouge. I'm gonna go ahead and place her right behind. Right behind Mina. She's a good character, you know. A shame that that Sega butchered her character a little. I hope that they would, you know, make her a little bit more awesome. If you catch my drift. Metal Sonic. Let's see. Pretty good as well, you know. You know, the the robotic version of Sonic, all that jazz. Pretty good. Next up is Cream the Rabbit. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and place her at B rank. Right behind Styx. Again. I'm not fully. Again, she's a good character, just yet, you know. Like, you know, barely been used by Sega for any mainline Sonic games, so yeah. Let's see. Cheese the Chow. Of course, I'm gonna place him with Cream because, you know, you can't separate the two. They're inseparable. Next up is Big the Cat. Again, B rank. He's pretty chill. I mean, I got no problem with him. It's just that, you know, not fully connected with him. Alright, next up, Omega. Again, I'm gonna place him at B. I know people are probably gonna hate me for placing Omega at B, but, you know, he's a robot. I mean, I mean, he's an Eggman robot who basically turned against him, part of Team Dark. You know, just not fully, you know, big fan of his character. He's good nonetheless, so yeah. Put him at B for good. So, let's see. You know what? Let's stick with some villains. Mephiles the Dark. I'm gonna place him right behind Infinite. You know, Mephiles is good and all, but, you know, Mephiles is good and all, and I'm glad that he was made a comeback in Shadow Generations. Still, they could have used him a lot more, but, I mean, who am I? So, let's continue. Next up is Omega's predecessor, E102 Gamma. I'm going to place him right behind Omega because I know that he's the robot, the first E-series robot that rebelled against Dr. Eggman and eventually sacrificed himself to, you know, save the Flickies and to release the Flickies and of course save Amy Rose and all that jazz in Sonic Adventure 1. But, you know, he's not one of my favorite characters or any type of character that I would relate to, so yeah. Alright, now let's move on. I'm gonna go ahead and rank all the Wisps at all A because they're pretty good. I can't argue with that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and rank all the Wisps. Alright, so I know people are probably gonna be like, wait, you're ranking all the Wisps? Well, yeah, I mean, they're all pretty good. They're not Sonic characters, but they're pretty. I guess you could say that they are Sonic characters if you can count it that way, but still, they're good nonetheless. So for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and place them in A I'm gonna place them in all A. So wow, that's a lot of Wisps. So many Wisps. Oh, and there's, oh, look at that. That's Lanolin's Wisp. Wow, a lot of Wisps, dude. That's just like a lot of Wisp. And there's the Jade Wisp. Alright, now let's move on. Okay. Alright, let's move on to Commander Abraham Tower. I'm gonna go ahead and place him at B as well. Again, he's a human. What am I supposed to say? That he's a B. I've put him at the B. Sure, he was featured in Shadow Generations, Dark Beginnings, but still, you know, he's a good character. Not the character that I, fully relate to, so, yeah. Oh, you, Elise. The one human that was known for that kiss in Sonic 06. Obviously a D. I don't care. I know people are probably like, damn, Spinster, that's a little harsh. Yeah, well, she made the kiss. She deserves to be at a D. Alright, next up is, of course, let's go ahead and go back to the Archie. Alright. Let's see. Oh, wow, that's a lot of Archie right here. You know what? Let's choose you. Nagus. Now, of course, Nagus couldn't able to do anything for himself. I mean, sure, he's part of the X's magic, but right before the Super Genesis wave, he literally does nothing. Sure, he basically unroboticized Bunny and all that, but what good did he do? Seriously. I mean, he literally let Mammoth Mogul getting his ass... He literally had his ass kicked by Mammoth Mogul, and then he starts freaking out after the Super Genesis wave when he touched Nicole. Yeah, not a good Sonic villain, so I'm gonna place him at D. Now, of course, let's get to the nitpicky here. Let's see. Oh wow, they even count the Sonic some of the Sonic villains as characters? I mean, makes sense, because some of them are characters themselves. Oh boy. That's gonna be interesting. Let's choose Trip. She's a really good Sonic character, never heard much of her that much. I know but her dragon form in Sonic Superstars is pretty cool. I will give that. So for that, I'm just gonna place her at an A rank just because of that. Alright, so oh boy, that's a lot of... Okay, I'm not gonna be able to rank every single Archie Sonic villain, and even Sonic characters that are from like Sonic the Black Knight and all that. So for that, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose whatever. I'm gonna speed run, like I said, I'm gonna speed run every single Sonic character. Let's start with the Deadly Six. The Deadly Six, they're good villains, but I'm just gonna go. But because of their infamous, because of what they did in Sonic on Lost World, I'm just gonna go ahead and rank them all at freaking C right there. At least they're like a step above freaking Elise and Nagus over there. Alright, Professor Gerald Robotnik. Now, I know that he was pretty, upset the fact that he lost Maria and the Space Colony arc. If we were going by the Sonic movies, where he teamed up with Eggman and basically, became an instant villain, where he's like, oh, Ivo, you're no Maria. But but we're going by the Sonic comics, which is both IDW and modern Sonic games, not the movies. Big difference. Modern Gerald is, of course, just, you know, he wasn't a full-on villain. I mean, he was pretty much, you know, saddened that he lost his granddaughter. But deep down, he is a good man. He just made a lot of mistakes, and, you know, of course, accepting Black Doom's help to create Shadow, the ultimate life form, with his own DNA. So yeah, he's just pretty much a flawed character, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place him at A. Next up is Maria. Oh boy, I don't know. I know Maria is of course a human, but she is the one human that is basically friends with Shadow. As the Shadow Generations basically said that Shadow and Maria are basically inseparable. They're pretty good. They're really good friends, so nothing to say about that. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place her at A as well, right behind her grandfather. Next up is Sage. Sage is, of course, Eggman's daughter, holographic daughter. Nothing to say about that. I'm gonna go ahead and place her at A as well, right behind Maria. Next up is Wave the Swallow. Man, I'm putting a lot of Sonic characters at a A rank. So, I'm gonna go ahead and place Wave right between Jet and Sally. Let's see, Classic Tails. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and place Classic Tails right behind Sage. Knuckles, he's basically the same. I'm gonna go ahead and place him right behind Modern Knuckles. And then there's Classic Amy. I'm gonna go ahead and place her right behind Modern Amy because they're obviously the same. Nothing to say. Now we got both Dark and Light Chow. I'm obviously gonna place them right in front of Trip. They're basically Chow, of course, so just right behind the Wisp, of course. That'll be fine. Now, Oma Chow. Oh boy. Oma Chow was somewhat useless in some games, but he was pretty useful in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place him at B. Surge. Oh boy. She's obviously one of my favorites. Can get, well, not one of my top favorites, but you know, she's a good one regardless. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place her right in front of Sally, of course, right behind Sage, right behind Wave. Sorry, I almost said Sage. Espio the Chameleon. He's good. He's a ninja. He's obviously knows how to, you know, be a cool ninja. I'm obviously gonna place him right behind Shadow. Charmy the Bee. Fun. He's a fun little guy. Cannot deny about that. It's pretty funny too. So for that, let's put him at A. Orbot and Cubot. So of course they're Eggman's lackeys. I'm just obviously gonna place them at A, right behind Classic Tails. Tikal, I mean, I know she played a significant role in Sonic Adventure 1. On defeating Perfect Chaos and turning Chaos and getting Chaos back into the Master Emerald. So I'm gonna go ahead and place her at A because of that. And then of course Chaos, I mean, pretty cool villain. Then there's Black Doom. He's obviously Shadow's thorn on his side. He's a pretty cool villain. I'm gonna go ahead and place him right behind Chaos. Next up is Vanilla. I don't know much about Vanilla besides the comics. She's a pretty cool mom, chill. Sadly, she was, of course, being infected by the metal virus, but yet, you know, still a cool mother regardless, especially that badass scene when she had to go up against the rough and tumble. So, yeah, pretty cool one. So, for that, I'm gonna obviously place her right in front of Rouge. Alright. Marine, never heard much about her. I'm placing her at B. Dr. Eggman Nega. Never heard of him. He's just a fake copy of Eggman. I'm placing him at D. Lanolin the Sheep. I've seen a lot of hate towards Lanolin the Sheep. Honestly, she's pretty cool. I mean, she did get a redemption arc for that, so I'm gonna go ahead and place her right behind Sally. Dodonpa. Never heard, again, never known much about him besides he hosted every Grand Prix, including Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So for that, I'll place him at B. Emerl. He's a robot, Eggman's a robot, so place him at A. Jamerl. He's a pretty cool robot. He helped, he protects both Vanilla and Cream. So for that, I'm placing him right in front of Rouge. We got Kit. Cool sidekick for Surge. I'm gonna place him right behind Surge. Then there is Jewel the Beetle. So, of course, leader of the Restoration. And I believe that she still is, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I read the IDW comics. So I'm gonna go ahead and place her right behind... Actually, you know what? Let's place her right in front of Lanolin. Then there is Belle the Tinkerbot. Again, pretty cool. She's one of the best. I'm gonna place her right, I'm gonna place her right in front of Swade. Dr. Starline. He's okay, but, you know, I don't like his, the fact that he's obsessed by Eggman, and then he, you know, he had this humiliating defeat, which is pretty sweet, if you ask me. Again, I don't like it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place him at C, which is earned him a rank above A, so above D, so. We got Clutch the Possum. Not my favorite Sonic character in the IDW, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place him at D. Then we got Rough and Tumble. Pretty cool Sonic, you know, type thugs. I'm gonna go ahead and place him at B. Mimic the Octopus. Best Sonic villain, but, you know, I'll place him at A. I don't know who those two characters are. I know they were part of the Metal Virus arc, and we never seen them again. So I'm gonna go ahead and place them at B again. I'm gonna place both of them at B. Professor Victoria, she of course is in the audio drama of the Chaotix Case Files, and I actually liked her character. So I'm gonna go ahead and place her right in front of Bunny. And then we got Chief Pakandamat, I believe. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. I know that he's basically, I believe, the father of, I forgot. Yeah, the father of Tikal. Nothing to say, I'll just place him at B. I don't know who those two characters are. Let me know in the comments of who those two characters are, so I'm obviously gonna place them at C because I don't know who they are. And I don't know who this character is, again, either, so I'm just going to place him at C. The President, pretty cool Sonic character. I mean, not much role. But I'm going to go ahead and place him right in front of Commander Abraham Tower. This guy, the father of Elise, not liked him either. I'm going to place him at D. Sahara, pretty cool. Place her at, in front of Tails. I don't know who this character is. Place him at B as well. We're gonna skip these versions of, you know, Eggman, Tails, and because again they're just Tails, Eggman, and Amy, but different. So yeah, classic Eggman. He's pretty cool, chill. I'm placing him right behind modern Eggman. Now, these two robots are from Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Rush, I believe. I never played Sonic Rush, never heard most of their backstory. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place them at D. Metal Shard Sonic. I never heard of him. I know there was one that's similar like him in the Archie comics. They're pretty cool. He's pretty cool, I guess. Plus some of the Dark Gaia. He's obviously pretty cool, but he can never beat Chip. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place him right between Black Doom and Chaos. Professor Pickle. Now, of course, without him, we wouldn't be able to find out about the Gaia manuscripts, the Gaia temples, and Sonic Unleashed. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place him right in front of Professor Victoria. And then we got this version of Metal Sonic from Sonic C. This version of Sonic, so Metal Sonic, I guess. Metal Sonic 1.0, I believe. Let's go, or Silver Metal Sonic, so I'm gonna place him right behind Mimic. We got Mighty and Ray. They're pretty cool, and they were part of the Chaotix, so at one point in the classic days. So for that, I'm gonna go ahead and place them along with right between Amy and SBO. We got Fang the Sniper, or Fang the Hunter. Again, pretty cool character. A classic Metal Sonic. He's just Metal Sonic, but in the classic. Place him right behind modern Metal Sonic. And then we got two Eggman robots, and then the other Metal Sonic. Again, they're just robots. And another version of Metal Sonic, so place them at A, I guess. And then we got classic Vector, SBO, and Charmy. So let's place them right behind modern Charmy. Nothing to say about that. And then we got Bark the Polar Bear and Bean. So let's go ahead and place them right behind Fang, because they're the hooligans, and they would not be complete without each other. So yeah, because they're a team. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh well. Alright, next up is all the E-Series robots that were with Gamma in the Adventure 1 days. Let's place them right behind Omega, because again, they're the E-Series robots. And I feel like they wouldn't be complete without the whole family of the E-Series robots. Alright, and then we got all the other Eggman robots. Let's first place them at B, I guess. I have no idea. This is Metal Knuckles, this is Tails Doll, and I have no idea what this robot is. I'm pretty sure someone in the comments will tell me. And then we got Lily the Flicky. Let's place her at A. And then we got Froggy. Let's place him behind Big. And then we got Chocola the Chow. Let's place him right in front of the other Chow and behind the Wisps. Alright, we got King Boom Boom. Boo Boom. He's the ghost from Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And, you know, the ghost in Sonic Adventure 2. I'll place him at B. I don't know most about him besides in Sonic X. So I'm just going to place him right there. Then we got the Coco. I'm going to go ahead and place them right behind Trip. All of the Coco. Right behind Chip. Oh, right behind Trip. Excuse me. I almost confused Chip and Trip's names together. Oh boy. I'm obviously not gonna count the Phantom Rider. You know what? Let's do it. Let Phantom Rider Sonic. Again, he's Sonic. I'm placing him right behind Modern Sonic. Then, of course, we got all the Titans, and of course, the end of right here. Let's place them at I'll place this one at the B, and then of course I'll place all the Titans at A. I haven't played Sonic Frontiers. I am planning to do so later on. So sometime in later. So yeah. Not like right now or next week or whatever, but whenever I had a chance to. So yeah. And then we got Super Sonic 2. Can't beat the original Super Sonic, so place it right behind. Oh boy. Ugh. A lot of Archie and Sonic characters. Oh, and if you guys are wondering, that's just my knuckles. I'm cracking them for a moment. Needed a stretch. Alright, and then we got the Guardian of the Dream Realm. I'm gonna place her at B. We got the Conductor. Not much. And then we got Honey the Cat. She's a cool Sonic character. I'll place her right in front of Tails. The Time Eater. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm gonna place it right in A rank. Right in front of the Titans. And then we got the train right here itself. Placed it right. Wait, did I just rank all the Titans right there? I did. What the heck? Why did I do that? Oh well. Alright, that's pretty much most of modern Sonic characters. Actually, hang on. Yep, we got Cyberspace Corruption Sonic. Let's just place him right here. I'm not gonna include Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. So that's exempted. I don't know what this, but this may be a Sonic, an Eggman robot. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I'm just gonna place it at B. Let's see. That's a lot of Sonic characters. I should have done IDW and modern Sonic games, but I thought because this is the 35th anniversary of Sonic, I thought, yeah, might as well. Then we got all the other Eggman robots. Boy. Let's just place them all at A rank. Man, this is like... Oh my gosh. Hang on. No, not interested. Let's do this. I wanna... Hold on a second. Am I tripping or something? Why are there two versions of Mimic the Octopus? Okay, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't saw that. Let's add Scourge. Scourge! Not one of my favorite Sonic characters. I'm gonna go ahead and place him at B. He's okay, but not my favorite. Jeffrey St. John. Not my favorite either. I'm gonna place him at C. Mighty Sister. Place him at... I'm gonna place her at B. And then we got two of Sonic's parents. I'm gonna place them at B. Uncle Chuck. He's much more of a father than Sonic's actual parents, so I'm gonna place him at A. Oh boy. Antoine de Colette. Let's place him right behind his wife. Let's see here. Fiona the Fox. Place her at B. And let's see. If there are any Archie characters that I have skipped over, then it's mostly because I don't have any I have no clue. If there are any Archie characters that I have skipped over, again, I only read most of the Archie comics, not all of them. Not all of them. That includes, like, you know, after the Super Genesis wave or pre-Super Genesis wave. So yeah, basically somewhat of that. Let's see. Rotor. He's a pretty good Sonic character. Let's place him. Yeah, let's place him right here, right behind Antoine. And then Nicole. Again, another goodie. Let's place her behind Sally. Ash, Mina's boyfriend. He's a huge asshole. For that, C. We got Reezy the Hedgehog. Again, another asshole. Cares about money. I place her at C. Con. I didn't get to read any stories that he was involved. I'm gonna probably place him at I'm just gonna go ahead and place him at B. I don't know. He's a pretty good character from the looks of it, so yeah. The Iron Queen. I don't know. Not much to say. Place her at B. We got Snively. Let's place him at B as well. Nope. There we go. B. We got Lupe. Let's place her at A. All of the Acorn family. Alright, now let's get to Hope Kintabor. I don't know much about her. I'm gonna go ahead and place her at B. There is Robbo Hedge. He's a good character. Place him at A. Here we have Julie Sue. Again, another good character. Let's place her at A as well. We got Dr. Kintobor, B. Let's see. Let's add in Mutsky, A. Not much to say about that. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna do a few more, and I think that'll be it, I guess. Rosie the Rascal. Oh boy. I'll just place her at B. Tails' uncle. Not much to say. I'll place him at B as well. Let's see. Eclipse. He's a pretty cool, like, somewhat brother to Shadow. I'll place him at A. Ah, there's the Metal Sonic that I was referring to. Shard. Let's place him at A as well, right behind Eclipse. Okay, and then finally we got Dimitri and Lyanda. So we'll place both of them at D. Not my favorite Sonic villains in the Archie comics. So yeah, that's that's pretty much it. All of the Sonic characters that are either Archie, IDW, or the modern games. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for all the Sonic characters that I have, ranked in the tier list. There's a lot that's in the A rank and so little in the S rank. There's a lot of B's, some C's, and then a lot of some D's right here. But there's a lot of A's, given the looks. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this tier list video. If you guys would like to see more, other tier list videos, whether it's My Little Pony, Sonic, or any other, I will definitely record it and film it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and also to click on the bell icon so you won't miss out on any future videos. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys next time, and until then, time for me to spin out.